Welcome back, everybody. So after finding herself without a job in 2020, Public Relations and Communications Manager Latoya Rattray made the decision to transition from backyard gardening to commercial farming. Since then, she's had success in the field and also in the office, and she recently gave birth to her second child. So she joins us now to share her story and how she pulls off the balancing act. Latoya, good morning. Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Good morning, Simone. How are you?
Very well, thank you. So let's start in 2020 with the Latoya, who hit upon some challenges. Want to talk through that a little bit before we talk about how you moved on?
Yes. So my son started high school the September before, and so in January 2020, I found myself without a job, as you said before, and I was really asking myself what could I do? At the time, I was asking myself, what could I do? Because now at the time I had a high schooler. He's still a high schooler, but I was just asking myself the questions. Now I have a high schooler. There are things that I need to do, I need to pursue, and I love my independence. So it was about that time. I tried other things, but it just didn't seem as if it was the right thing to do. And then I remembered that my grandfather in Clarendon, he died, he left some lands, and he was a master yam farmer. And so I called my mother and I asked, what's the possibility of me going into farming? And of course she was saying, no, no. But
and why was she saying no, Latoya?
Because Simone, I grew up in Victoria District, Clarendon. That's atop the Mocha Mountain. And every single parent want their child to be a doctor, a lawyer, something like that, not to be a farmer like them. And so I believe that's what my mother was kind of steering me from. She tried it all her life because she was a farmer. She is a farmer herself, and she sells in the market. Right? So she wanted us, of course, she has 4 of us, and of course she always said she wants us to be better than her. So when I said that to her, her exact words to me, but look how long me try tell you if you not do this, and you really come to these mums. So yes, but then afterwards, she's very supportive. She and my sister, they're very supportive.
What's funny about what you're saying is that there are so many young people in the last couple of years that have excelled by going into farming. I mean, farming is now, agriculture is a sexy field for young people now, and a lot of young people are making some good money off the land.
Simone, I tell everybody that if I knew then what I know now,
you'd have done it a long time ago.
Long time ago.
So how long did it take you to kind of get up to speed? Because your grandfather did it, your mother did it, obviously in your family, but that means it come naturally to you. What was the learning curve like? How steep was it?
Well, to be honest with you, it wasn't steep, thanks to RADA and thanks to Newport Ferguson. It wasn't steep. I think the biggest challenge I had, because I live in Kingston, and to get good workers, one farm is in Clarendon, and I have 2 other plots in St. Catherine.
Hey,
so the most difficult thing was to get honest workers. But Newport Ferguson, when I called, and because somebody told me about soil testing, I never know nothing about that, because I never hear my grandfather nor my grandmother nor nobody talk about soil test. All I know is that they used to just plant and get some salt, or get some of this, or get some urea, and you don't know why they're giving urea, you don't know why they're giving it salt, but you don't even know if the soil needs it, But I called a friend of mine. She was my batchmate. We went to NCU together, and I was surprised to find out that she was working at Newport Ferguson in marketing. And she said, "Oh, we have some agronomists, and she started telling me how it works. They would pair an agronomist with the farmer based on your location. So because I was in Clarendon, and I was in Clarendon, she paired me with the agronomist for that area.
And the rest is history.
Yes.
Afraid to ask you what urea is. It don't sound like I want to know.
It's a fertilizer.
It
It's
have
a
you,
fertilizer.
it have urine in there? Okay, I just checking. I mean, word association. So the farming worked out, and then you headed back into corporate.
Yes, and just a little bit before you move on, the farming, it is still going because like a couple months ago, maybe about 2 months ago, I lost 2 acres
Ooh,
plus 2.5 acres of sweet corn, and the
oh,
investment is not,
oh,
it's not an easy investment.
yeah.
But you pick up yourself, you brush off. It was during the rainy period, and it came down with fungus,
Oh
so I
no.
lost the entire crop.
Well, the good thing about the
But
land is that it's fertile and it gives back, right? So
yes,
you build
yes,
back
yes.
from that.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about how you ended up in PR and comms, and then I see beautiful pictures of a wedding,
Yes.
and then we mentioned that you just had a second child. So tell me a little bit about heading back into corporate now and then balancing everything that Latoya does.
Well, a lot of people ask me, how do you do it? But it's not difficult. It's not hard. I mean, like early mornings, I would call, I have four full-time workers, two in St. Catherine and the other two in Clarendon. And of course, my sister is in Clarendon taking care of things for me. So I would call them early in the morning, just to run through things. Of course, at the beginning of the week, there is a schedule that we would do, and we would feed the information to them on a needs basis. So we do that. And from 8 to 4:30 is my regular job. Sometimes, you have to put in the work because it's public relations and communications. So you have campaigns to work on, you have plans to put together. So I work best early morning, like 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. If there is something I need to do for the office, I would use that time. If I have to design something, I would use that time. And then by four, maybe 4, 5 o'clock, I am on the phone with my workers, let them know what needs to be done. And I will also follow up during the day. Then by 6 o'clock, I am preparing breakfast, and we're out of the house. Now it's face to face. Right after I wrap up this interview with you, I'll be taking my son to
School.
school. Yes. That my husband will hold down the fort for me with my 7-week-old baby. I have milk in the fridge. So if he needs to feed him before I get back, he can do that.
Yeah.
And by the time I get here, he will leave for work. And we just have to do what we have to do, Simone. If it's one thing I remember when I was growing up, as a teenager, I have terrible pains, menstrual cramps. And my mother, the first day of my period, she would make banana porridge for me. And day 2, she will say, out of the bed, if you didn't have me, you would have to do it yourself. So
Wow.
I kind of grew up with that. If I have to do it, I just have to do it. It doesn't
That's
matter what.
Yeah, that's a great lesson to leave us with. We have to go. The road isn't always easy, you say, but you wouldn't trade your journey for the world. I hope there's somebody who's watching who's inspired by this journey and to know that
Yes.
if you lose your job, it's not over. Turn your hand
No.
and make fashion. Find something
Exactly.
else that you
Exactly.
can try. Just don't give up. Thank
And
you
even
for
if
that
you
lesson.
don't lose your job, Simone, as any female out there, even if you don't lose your job, farming is a way of independence. Plant some sweet potato. The returns are great on sweet potato. You don't put a lot of investment in there. Speak to Agro Investment Corporation, especially if you're below the age of 38.
Yeah.
They will hook you up with some lands at the agro park.
Oh,
So
we
that's
passed
what I'm
38,
leaving
so
with
we
a
can't.
female out there who wants her independence.
Got you. Got you. Thank you very much, Madam Latoya Rattray, farmer and public relations and communications manager, talking to us about just keep going. That's the lesson. Up next, we're going to celebrate women in reggae with the 8th International Reggae Poster Contest. We'll be right back to talk about that after this.